13 love, 13 knowledge, 13 wisdom, 13 respect. This is your Creation 13. Today, talking about how to communicate or commune with Christ and with higher deities, right? Or the term higher selves. What does that look like? Like, what are easy practices or even fathoming the idea of communication, right? A lot of it, if you're into religion, a lot of it is built on faith, right? Having faith in Christ and what he represents, and how the story of him dying for us or leading by example, right? That's the religious part of things. And then we have angels, right? Angels are the communicators from the heavens or from God, right? And what does that look like in our daily lives in a modernized world, right? Because, faith and having the knowledge, is one thing, but actually communicating with these deities, and what does that look like? Having a conversation one-on-one, right? It's very interesting to look at how far this has come, because back in the day, right, really not too long ago, but I'd say, about 2010, 2011, things became more relaxed, right, where you can actually talk about your conversations with the higher deities, with Christ, things like that, right? But before 2010, and even just as you go back, you were labeled schizophrenic, you were labeled that you were talking to imaginary deities and that they didn't exist, things of that nature, right? Very, very interesting, right? And learning about that programming and learning about losing the child within you, or the creativity that dwells within you, right, is very sad that we've lost that. We have been disconnected from talking with the inner voice, talking with a Christ deity, talking with a higher deity, and the connection between that and how that looks like. So, simple techniques I use, and basically you just have to become comfortable with it, right? You have to experiment with it. Be out in nature's key, but if it's cold, like, 20 below right now, yeah, I'm not going outside. But you can still commune and communicate with these deities, right? And it's, what are you asking or what are you looking for, right? That makes you an oracle for these deities. That makes you a host, which is talked about in the Bible, right? The Lord of Hosts, right? That's what Christ is known as the Lord of Hosts. And what is a host? You're a host. I'm a host, right? We're a host for spirits. That is part of this reality. People can deny it or they can explore into it, right? But it is part of this reality, right? Why do you think all of the different thought patterns come in? People do things that they question why they did things, right? A lower aspect, a lower decision, right? Spirits are involved no matter how you look at it, because you are a host of that. All thoughts and ideas are generated through spirits, right? Through the communion in the throne of God. The throne of God, which is in turn the pineal gland, which is where Jacob wrestled with God, right? In the pineal. So you are within the kingdom of creation, right? And we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so simple technique that I just use this. And I did this right before I turned this video on. I'm like, hey, what do I need to talk about? And basically you just want to get relaxed into a state of meditation where you just turn off the mind and you turn on your heart. You turn on the frequency of your heart and the frequency of the will and intent. What are you asking for, right? Or they'll commune with you, right? The ringing of the ears, whether it be through the left side, the left hemisphere, or the right side, the right hemisphere. Who's communicating with you and who are you wanting to communicate to, right? And I always go to Christ as my number one source. I'm like, hey, Christ, man, I need some assistance. I need a word. I need encouragement. Where's my life being heading to? Why is this stuff happening? Things like that. And then you just listen and observe the voice that comes through, right? And it'll be a simple voice, like literally it'll get right to the point, tell you what's going on, write it down if you need to, things like that. But you can never be demanding, you can never be forceful, because they'll just sit back and just go, oh my God, these little humans, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. So that's where you have to just become mature and know what's going on. Because like in the religious realm, they teach you to beg and plead and cry out to God. And that's never been the case, and never is. That's feeding on emotions, and that's reckless, right? When you're living in emotions, that's a reckless way of doing things. Just like, if you're an alcoholic, you're going to be reckless. You're going to say things you shouldn't be saying. But on the other hand, the things you say is from your heart, right? So you have to be mature, and as an oracle, you have to be mature, right? So you just sit back and just commune with the deities. Just be aware that you have deities all over the place. You got guardians and protectors with you at all times. They're just waiting for you to communicate with them so they can assist you. They can't do things beyond this physical plane, because that's your job. That's your responsibility. People seem to throw responsibility out the window, and you have a lot of responsibilities that you are responsible for. Humans have a lot of responsibility that they're responsible for, and humans have failed in almost every way, right? And it's just because of the world leaders have allowed that to happen, right? But things are changing, things are mutating. That's a whole other video right there. But yeah, commune with your chosen deity, or commune and listen. What is your will and intent? Hey, what is going on in the world today? Is there going to be major events that are going to be happening? How can we prepare ourselves for these events? Do we need to just sit back, take care of our family and friends? Do we just need to pay attention to our surroundings? Do we need to protect our towns and our cities? Do we need to get out of the cities? I keep telling people, I'm like, get out of the big cities. If anything goes down, those big cities are going to go down with it. Get into small towns, to little communities. That's where you're going to be needed, and that will keep you away from the politics of the big cities. Trust me, you do not want to be in big cities, especially with the way the world's going right now. Just ask for things like that and wait for a response, right? What I need to do. And just like the words I get right now is prepare, listen to your heart, expansion, thankfulness, patience, generosity, love, encouragement, attendance, showing up, being there for others, honor and respect. Encouragement just keeps coming in, encouraging each one of you to live by the will and the heart, to serve in the greater good for those who are within your lives and those that surround you. When you go outside in public, go to your workplace. Patience is key. It will be a bumpy ride. Don't fear. The sun will rise. Crops will grow. And the promised land is being built, restored, renewed. And paradise will be accomplished. Awesome. See, and that's it. You know, you just have to be patient and just live by the will and the heart. You know, if you are full of love and you care about others, you care about yourself, right? That is key. If you don't care about yourself, you can't care about others. You really can't. So you have to learn to care for yourself, to care for others. Live by the love and the will of the heart. And those encouraging words will come through. That's what Christ was saying. Encourage everyone to live by the will and the heart. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end it on that. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, just get in a environment that you can be relaxed in. Turn off the mind and just allow things to flow, right? Don't push it. Don't expect it. Just let it flow. Learn how to communicate with Christ and the higher deities. Trust me, they'll communicate back. It's just understanding what that is. And don't question, oh, who is this voice? Who is that voice? If it's encouraging words, that's it. That's your answer. If it's discouraging and these voices are tearing you down, those are lower levels. You just say, hey, be gone. I don't need you. So you just listen to the encouraging words and words that spread love and unity for yourself and for others, right? That's it. Simple as that. So yeah. So hopefully that helps you out on your walk and learning how to commune and communicate with our helpers, right? With our guardians that are there all the time. They never leave. They're just waiting for you to knock on the door and say, hey, need some encouraging words. So yeah, so love yourself. Keep shining bright. I'll talk to you all later.